Well, hi, everybody. Thank you very much for coming here today. I'm super excited about our guest who is with us today, but also my colleague who is going to be translating today. So just give me a few moments. I'll introduce them and then we'll get right in. Maybe I'll explain a little bit of the process here and we'll get right into the conversation. So I'm super pleased to introduce Vivi here, who is the vice president of the South American region of World Physiotherapy. She's a physiotherapist and a women's health and pelvic floor specialist. She and I have had many great conversations. I'm super interested in how South American region is really evolving and growing. And so, Vivi, welcome here today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I am very, very exciting.
Awesome. Now, Vivi is fully bilingual, but I have asked Vivi if we could do this in Spanish, because I would like all of the Spanish-speaking countries, both in the Caribbean and South America and in Europe, to also be able to understand in the native language. For all of you listening, you'll hear me say this many times, but in 2023, geography and language should no longer or ever be a barrier to participation in World Physio again. So Vivi, thank you for being here. I'd like to introduce Carmen. Now, Carmen is a physiotherapist from Colombia. I first got to know Carmen when she came to Duke University and spent a year with us there. And Carmen is amazing for so many reasons. But after she was with us, she returned to Colombia to do her Master's of Business Administration. And she's currently doing her Master's of Public Health at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, and doing a degree in public health at Johns Hopkins, which is one of the most prestigious universities in public health in the world, is an absolute amazing. So her career is going to be just spectacular. Carmen, I'm going to love to watch what you do next. And Carmen has very graciously agreed to translate today.
Thank you very much, Mike, for having me today, and I'm happy to translate and happy to hear all what you have said.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Okay, so our process now, I'll be conducting a few interviews with leaders across the world, and I'm asking the same three questions. I'm asking the same three questions of Vivi, as I will for all the others. So here we go. The first one is, Vivi, in your opinion, what are the opportunities and threats for physiotherapy over the next 5 to 10 years?
Bueno, solo para aclarar, soy la secretaria de la región sudamericana y no la vicepresidenta, solo una cosa.
Okay. So Vivi wants to just clarify that she's the secretary of the region, not the vice president, but also like a very important role in the...
My mistake, thank you.
Bueno, yo pienso que de las grandes oportunidades que hay es la globalización y el poder tener accesible información rápida y certera, confiable, para poder resolver problemas científicos.
Okay, so Vivi basically highlights two different things. One is globalization, and the second one is the access to information in a rapid and easy way in order to being able to find solutions in a scientific way.
Otra de las oportunidades es poder combinar la terapia manual y la tecnología, que va en avanzada cada día más, y resolver los problemas de intervención y prevención terapéutica más efectivamente.
Okay. And the other stuff, if it's being able to combine manual therapy with technology in order to resolve issues in the prevention side and also in the in the curative part of the therapy, like combining manual therapy with technology to resolve this issues.
Y pienso que dentro de las limitaciones, la inteligencia artificial puede llegar a ocupar un espacio importante en el quehacer terapéutico y que si no nos modernizamos, puede tener consecuencias importantes.
Okay, so she basically highlights how, as a limitant, now how artificial intelligence can at some point fit a role or being in a space for us. So for that reason, it's important for us to modernize ourselves in order to AI not to take our place.
Pero sin dejar de lado que el poder acompañar continuamente, tocar al paciente, nunca va a ser sustituido por la inteligencia artificial.
That's right. So, but basically what she also says is that there is no way that artificial intelligence can do all the things that we do, like especially like touching the patient, being with the patient. So yeah, that's something that artificial intelligence won't ever do.
So Vivi, it sounds like you're saying technology can be a good thing and then a bad thing all at the same time.
Sí, no, a ver, creo que hay que saber usarla y lo que me preocupa más es que muchos se queden retrasados y sean sustituidos de alguna manera por este avance, pero también tenemos que utilizarla para avanzar más rápido y tener mejor calidad en la atención.
Yeah, so basically is that it's just like this click of using technology done and take advantage of technology, knowing how to use it, but also in order for us not to be like substitute by the technology also.
Yeah.
So use it in a good way.
Yeah, brilliant. And maybe, thank you for that. Maybe I'll just add something here. Maybe Carmen, if you can translate that for those who are listening in who just speak Spanish. So I recently worked with a group of colleagues in Europe to look at artificial intelligence in terms of cardiometabolic disease, so diabetes, congestive heart failure, and thinking, is there a way that artificial intelligence can help us predict outcome? So I'm almost thinking, if we can use technology in its most pure form and then join that with our hands-on techniques and interventions, we will have a much better outcome. Is that sort of what would you agree with that?
It's exactly what she was saying.
Yes. Okay. Well, not only do we have the same color shirt, we think the same way, so I appreciate that.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, basically for all the people that is now listening to us, what Michael was saying is that he recently, él estaba hace unos días estuvo trabajando con unos colegas en Europa, evaluando en las enfermedades cardiometabólicas de qué manera podíamos usar la inteligencia artificial para predecir los resultados en los tratamientos, por ejemplo. Entonces, es cómo la podemos combinar y cómo la podemos usar para tener mejores resultados sin dejar de lado lo que nosotros hacemos, específicamente también como la terapia manual.
Thank you. Okay, so let's go to the second question. In your career, Vivi, what was the most important event in your professional life that led you to your leadership position today?
Creo que el no poder ingresar a la World Physiotherapy como Costa Rica, porque nuestra institución somos 6 profesiones en la rehabilitación y solo podía entrar fisioterapia. Entonces el poder dialogar, el poder tener una transformación institucional para poder ofrecerle a la World Physiotherapy esa enlace fue de mucho trabajo y creo que eso fue un cambio rotundo en mi vida y se logró.
Ok, pero entonces cuéntame un poquito, Vivi, para entenderte mejor. Antes estaban las 6 profesiones, o sea,
No. El Colegio de Terapeutas en Costa Rica está conformado por 6 profesiones de la rehabilitación. Pero para entrar a la World Physiotherapy, solo fisioterapia podía ingresar. Entonces, tuvimos que crear una comisión profesional de solo fisioterapia para poder ingresar, ¿ok? Pero eso llevó un trabajo muy grande hasta llegar a Londres y poder presentarlo, por ejemplo, a Jonathan y ver si era opción, ¿no? Entonces, tuvimos que trabajar aquí en Costa Rica, tuvimos que trabajar en Sudamérica, tuvimos que trabajar a nivel mundial para poder lograr ese proceso de ver cómo lográbamos incorporarnos más
a 6,
adecuado.
o siendo solo una.
Siendo solo fisioterapia, que solo
Ok,
fisioterapia podía entrar.
ok, y fue cómo hiciste todo ese proceso
Eso,
para poder llegar allá.
sí, claro.
Okay. So basically for Vivi, there was an important moment in her career that was when, so in Costa Rica, there are 6 different professions that are part of like rehabilitation, and they are part of the organization that is in Costa Rica. But unfortunately, when they wanted to enter to work physiotherapy, only one was accepted, that was physiotherapy. So they had to create like another association or like another entity, like do all the paperwork, all the institutionalization of this new entity in order to be part of work physiotherapy. So for her, what she says is that this was an important moment because she had to advocate and to all this and working with the people in London from work physiotherapy in order to just like be part of this.
What year was that, Vivi, that the Costa Rican Association entered into World Physio? What year was that?
No te entendí,
¿En
perdón.
qué año fue que entró Costa Rica a la World Physiotherapy?
2019.
Very recently.
Yeah.
Ya. Habíamos entrado antes,
Viva.
pero con una asociación que no era global. Ahora todos los fisioterapeutas están incluidos en el país.
Ok. ¿Cuántos fisioterapeutas están ahorita?
3.800 algo.
3,800. Okay, so now 3,800 physiotherapists are part of the Costa Rican organization.
Yeah. Huge success. That's amazing.
Yes, it is. It is big. Congratulations for that.
Yeah. Now, Vivi, if I were to ask you, maybe just to guess here, but across all of South America, how many members are we talking about?
Bueno, depende. Creo que tienes que traducirlo, Carmen.
Sí. Pues depende, pero de qué depende, o sea.
Yo pensé que ibas a traducir lo que
No.
había dicho. Okay.
Sí, que vamos entonces a preguntar cuántos son los miembros que hay ahorita en las asociaciones en Sudamérica, en
Sí,
Latinoamérica.
esa pregunta está difícil. Somos 11 países
Ok,
y, a ver, creo que no, como nosotros tenemos un carácter de obligatoriedad, ¿verdad? En Costa Rica, creo que somos los que tenemos más, ¿verdad?
ok.
Pero definitivamente que no todos los fisios de cada país entran a la asociación, por lo tanto, los números no son tan iguales, ¿no?
Sí.
Así que yo pienso que tienen que haber, no sé, un número reportado tal vez unos, yo calculo muy alto 10,000, pero muy alto, ¿no? Muy alto.
En toda la...
En toda la región, muy alto. Y somos muchísimo más. Solo
Muchísimo.
Brasil.
¿No sabes cuántos hay en Brasil?
No, tendría que entrar a la página para decírtelo con claridad, no me lo sé, la cantidad.
Pero hay en esos 10.000 cuentas a Brasil, que es
Ah,
grande.
sí, estoy contando Brasil.
Estás contando todos los 11 países.
Claro, porque es una asociación, entonces no es obligatorio estar en la
Sí,
asociación.
excepto en
Entonces,
Costa Rica, ustedes sí lo tienen
exacto,
obligado.
sí,
Okay.
exactamente. Nosotros somos un colegio profesional.
Okay. Okay, so basically, she doesn't know an exact number. She have to check, but she thinks it's around 10,000. And the reason what happens this, and we're just like thinking in the math of why Costa Rica 3,800, is just because that's the only country from the 11 countries in Latin America that it's obligatory to be in the association because they are part of a college of physios. So, but she thinks that overall, like the participation is not that high. In the 11 countries in total, must be like around 10,000.
Right. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up there. Oftentimes you have a couple structures that kind of like the one you have in Costa Rica where you have to be a member for regulations, but the other ones, it varies in terms of membership. And I think we need to do better. I think World Physio, we need to do better to be inclusive of Spanish speaking Latin American and South American countries, because you're I think among the Americas, and I'm part of this, and if you'll permit me, I'll be honest with you, one of my other life-altering events was 2 years that I spent in Guatemala. I know not that's the North American Caribbean region, but those 2 years spending in Guatemala made such an impact on my life that we named our second child. We have 3 daughters. We named our second child Maya, after having spent 2 years among the Mayan population in Central America. So your regions from North American Caribbean all the way down, we all need to do better, and I can promise you we will. So thank you for that answer. Maybe you could just quickly summarize there, Carmen, for...
Sí, voy a hacer eso. Entonces, pues bueno, creo que Michael un poco también cuenta lo importante que deben ser estas regiones para World Physiotherapy, que lastimosamente hasta ahora no se han tenido tan en cuenta. Y que debemos hacer que World Physiotherapy hable en español, que se conecte con la gente en los países, y sobre todo pues en estas regiones. Y pues también Mike nos cuenta una historia muy bonita de cuando vivió 2 años en Guatemala, que creo que esto le abrió los ojos hacia la profesión y personalmente también, y que también por esto su segunda hija se llama Maya, por las poblaciones con las que tuvo con las que estuvo mientras estuvo en Guatemala. Entonces, sí, la importancia de que World Physiotherapy abra sus puertas para toda esta región.
And if I could say one more thing about maybe South America, one of my, and I almost have kind of goosebumps to mention this, but I did spend a lot of time in Colombia, specifically at Rosario University. And I think it was last year that we lost what I feel was one of the greats in our profession, Israel. And so if you'll permit me to acknowledge the amazing impact that he has had on, I think, Carmen would agree, but certainly I'm almost getting emotional. I mean, he changed my life in a lot of different ways. And so when I found of his passing, it was a great tragedy. So Latin America and South America has real leaders, and we need to bring those people out.
Sí. Sí, realmente creo que me uno un poco a esto que nos cuenta Mike sobre grandes personas que ha tenido la fisioterapia en la región y fue Israel Cruz, fue mi maestro, también creo que me pongo un poco emocional. Él fue nuestro maestro, fue una gran persona que nos acompañó en la profesión y él murió hace 2 años en COVID. Entonces sí, creemos que estas personas deben hacer parte de estas esferas de World Physiotherapy.
Sí, no, totalmente. Y sonado por toda la región.
Claro que sí.
Por supuesto. Bueno, viendo la página, imagínate que Brasil tiene 3.800.
¿También?
O sea, no concuerda
No concuerda.
Costa Rica, Brasil. Entonces ahí es donde hay un pequeño problema, ¿no?
Claro, y es algo que debe ser interesante de revisar cómo, y creo que es una de las cuestiones más grandes, y creo que Michael también lo tiene en todo su plan de gobierno, y es cómo hacemos para que más personas hagan parte de esto. Creo que eso es una de las cosas que tenemos que tener en la conversación.
Sí.
So now I'm gonna just translate this. Vivi just checking the webpage, and Brazil has exactly the same number as Costa Rica, 3,800. But basically what we were just talking is how important it is, and I just acknowledge for you, Mike, how important this is for you to just like start developing strategies to bring more people to the associations in each one of the countries, because this is like Brazil has thousands of physiotherapists, but unfortunately just a few are part of the organization. So I know that this is one of your main points.
Yeah, Vivi, thank you for bringing that up. And you'll see in other parts of the website. So this will be posted on my website, but you'll see another part where I promise, and promises are very difficult to make, but in my campaign, I promise that we will increase by 15% the membership of those member organizations already inside of World Physio. So that means an additional 100,000 people, 100,000 people inside of organizations who are already part of the family, already part of World Physiotherapy. And I think what we need to do, one last point there, Carmen, and then we give it to you, but what we have to do, Vivi, is we have to establish value for membership. We have to be claro of why they should be members. And there's plenty of good reasons, but what I'm suggesting is that we go beyond that and we think about really what is value for membership, because we'll all know in 2023 we're going towards a probably a fairly difficult global financial slowdown where we're going to see more inflation. And so that membership, that fee that you pay, maybe it was a certain amount 5 years ago. Because of inflation, that's going to be a lot higher. So we have to be more clear of where there is value. But let's work together, Vivi and Carmen, on all this. This is not one person. This is all of us together. We're all one, even though we're different.
Okay, I was just like checking that last phrase because I really want to have it very clear. Yes. Sí, realmente, bueno, Mike nos cuenta y ya en la página lo van a poder todos ver, una de sus promesas que esperamos que se pueda cumplir es aumentar la membresía en un 15% de los miembros actuales de las organizaciones. Esto es más o menos 100,000 miembros nuevos y es un número muy alto, pero realmente como queremos hacer esto y como Mike quiere hacer esto es tener una membresía que realmente sea de valor, es agregar valor y es a partir de entender de qué forma para cada uno de los miembros es importante la organización, realmente la organización qué puede brindarle a cada uno de nosotros, y con esto y entendiendo esto como desde las bases es que vamos a poder aumentar esta membresía. Mike también nos hable un poquito de cómo el 2023 va a ser un año muy complejo en términos pues inflacionarios y que sabemos que la membresía va a ser muy costosa y él entiende que para los fisioterapeutas en muchos países esta membresía es costosa. Entonces, ¿de qué manera podemos hacer mucho más claro, uno, hacia dónde se van los recursos un poco y también cómo agregamos valor para que la gente realmente entienda la importancia de estar agremiado con World Physiotherapy y entender, y esta es la última frase con la que cierro y con la que cerró Mike, y es entender que somos todos uno, pero todos somos distintos.
Sí, totalmente de acuerdo.
Vivi, the last question for you, and we'll let you get back to your family. And this is kind of maybe it's more like a fun question, but I have a feeling you and I are maybe from the same vintage here. But what advice would you give to your new graduate physiotherapist self? Can Carmen give that a translation? Because I just gotta make sure that's clear. You know, like what advice would you give your new grad self?
So, bueno, aquí la pregunta es realmente, y Mike bromea un poquito que ustedes son como de la misma época, y es, ¿cuál sería la recomendación que tú le darías a tu yo recién graduado? ¿Cuál sería esa recomendación que tú le darías?
Yo le diría que viva con pasión cada etapa, que nunca, nunca se detenga sus ganas de estudiar, así como cuando salió, que sea siempre igual, pero eso sí, que dé el salto cuántico de poder estar en muchos países, no solamente quedarse en uno.
Okay, perfecto. So basically what she recommends to herself of the past, well, or the new, is that she needs to live with passion, be passionate about everything, and be always willing to learn and don't stop learning. And also, just like don't stay only in her own country, just travel and learn more about the other ones and live in other places also.
Oh my God, that's probably the best advice that anyone could ever give is to travel, experience others.
Yes.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Vivi, por
Mucho
por
gusto.
eso, realmente.
Well, so let's maybe bring this to a bit of a conclusion here. These are sort of quick bites, not very long, and we could always have conversations after. But Vivi and Carmen, love you both. You're like sisters. This has been amazing. You inspire me every time I think about you guys. So let's keep up our pressure, our passion to move our profession forward in South America and across the world. But what you just said, how you ended it, Vivi, is inspiring. So mucho gusto and thank you so much.
¿Y cuál era nuestra palabra? Pura vida.
Pura vida. Costa Rica es pura vida, sí, señora. So they have a saying in Costa Rica that is Costa Rica pura vida. So just
life?
Yes. But
Just
it's
like-
not saying. Do you say in Spanish? Pura vida.
Pura vida.
Pura vida. There we go.
Pura vida. Yes.
Okay.
What a great conclusion.
Thank you both. I really appreciate your time, and we'll be talking soon, but really appreciate it. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
You
Mucho
too.
gusto, Carmen. Bye bye.
Gusto.
Chao.
Estamos en contacto.